Hello, Midnights. Next, Vodou, Unveiling a Misunderstood Religion. We hope you enjoy our stories. Let us know where you are listening from, and don't forget to subscribe. When the word voodoo is mentioned, many people conjure up images of black magic, dolls with pins and curses. These sensationalized portrayals, often found in movies and popular culture, have created a deeply distorted and unfair understanding of a rich and complex religion. Vodou, more accurately known as Vodou, is a vibrant and living spiritual tradition with deep roots in West Africa, brought to the Americas through the transatlantic slave trade. With an estimated 60 million practitioners globally, Vodou is a major world religion, with a profound cultural presence that cannot be measured by simple numbers alone. This article aims to provide a holistic and respectful overview of Vodou, dispelling common myths and exploring its core beliefs, practices, and profound cultural significance. The history of Vodou is rooted in the forced migration of enslaved people from West Africa during the transatlantic slave trade. The religion is a product of syncretism, the blending of West African traditions, with Roman Catholicism, which was imposed by French colonizers. The foundations of Vodou are primarily from the Vodun religion of the Fon people of the Kingdom of Dahomey, present-day Benin, and the beliefs of the Yoruba people of Nigeria. These traditions share a core belief in a single, distant creator god and a pantheon of lesser spirits or deities. During the 17th and 18th centuries, enslaved people from different African ethnic groups were brought to the French colony of Saint-Domingue, now Haiti. To survive and secretly maintain their faith, they blended their native beliefs with Catholicism. The LWA, or spirits, were often associated with Catholic saints to deceive slave owners. For instance, Papa Legba, the LWA of the crossroads, was often disguised as Saint Peter, who holds the keys to the gates of heaven. This clever spiritual camouflage allowed the religion to endure and evolve. Vodou's role in the Haitian Revolution 1791 to 1804 is central to its history. The religion was a key organizing force, providing a sense of community and a shared purpose for the enslaved. The famous Bois Cayman ceremony in 1791, led by Houngan and Mambo, Cecile Fadiman, is widely considered the event that sparked the massive slave uprising. This ritual served as a powerful symbol of unity and a declaration of spiritual and political independence from their French oppressors. Vodou transformed from a clandestine practice into a revolutionary force, solidifying its place as a cornerstone of Haitian identity. After Haiti gained independence in 1804, Vodou continued to face persecution from both the government and the Catholic Church. However, it became the dominant folk religion and a vital part of daily life. In the 20th century, Western media began to sensationalize and misrepresent Vodou, creating the distorted voodoo stereotype. Despite this, Vodou has survived and is now a global religion with communities in the United States, Canada, and other parts of the world, serving as a powerful link to Haitian culture and history. At the heart of Vodou is the belief in a single, ultimate, and unknowable creator god, Bonde, from the French bon Dieu, meaning good God. Bonde is considered too distant and vast to be directly worshipped. Instead, practitioners communicate with Bonde through the LWA, spiritual intermediaries who govern different aspects of life. The LWA are not gods in the traditional sense, but rather spirits or forces of nature. They are divided into several families or nations, nations. The Rada Lubya are benevolent and associated with ancient African traditions. They are often seen as gentle, wise, and compassionate. Papa Legba, the guardian of the spiritual crossroads, and Loco, the patron of healers and priests, belong to this family. The P2 LWA are more fiery and forceful, often associated with the struggle for freedom and resistance against oppression. They are invoked for protection and to deal with difficult situations. Their energy is intense and can be a powerful force for change. The Guérédois are the spirits of the dead, presided over by Baron Samedi and his wife, Maman Brigitte. They are known for their wit, humor, and their profound connection to the cycle of life and death. They remind practitioners to embrace life and not fear death. In addition to the LWA, Vodou practitioners also honor their ancestors. Reverence for the dead is a fundamental aspect of the religion. It is believed that the spirits of one's deceased family members remain a part of the family and can offer guidance and protection. This strong connection to one's lineage reinforces the importance of family and community within the Vodou faith. The central element of Vodou worship is the communal ritual, which takes place in a Haunfort temple and is led by a Houngan priest or a Mambo priestess. These ceremonies are vibrant and energetic, involving drumming, singing, dancing, and offerings to the LWA. The goal of the ritual is to invite the LWA to mount or possess one of the participants, who then acts as a vessel for the spirit to communicate with the community, offer guidance, and perform healings. Offerings are an integral part of Vodou practice. They are not sacrifices in the violent sense, but rather acts of hospitality and respect. Offerings can include food, rum, cigarettes, and other items that are known to please a particular LWA. They are a way for practitioners to build and maintain a relationship with the spirits, showing gratitude and asking for their guidance and blessings. A unique element of these rituals is the veve, a complex symbolic drawing made on the floor, with flour or cornmeal that serves as a beacon to invite a specific LWA to the ceremony. Modern Vodou practices continue to be centered on community, healing, and communication with the spirits or LWA. While some rituals are private, many are communal gatherings filled with music, dance, and offerings. These gatherings, held in a Haunfort temple, are led by a Houngan or Mambo to honor the LWA. They involve rhythmic drumming and chanting, with each LWA having its own specific beat to invite it to mount or possess a practitioner. The possessed person, known as the horse, serves as a conduit for the spirit to offer guidance, healing, or messages to the community. Beyond spiritual guidance, Vodou serves as a vital social and medical network in many Haitian communities. In areas with limited access to formal healthcare, Houngans and Mambos act as healers, using a blend of herbal knowledge, ritual purification, and spiritual intercession to treat physical and psychological ailments. They also provide counseling and support, helping to resolve conflicts and provide a sense of stability during times of crisis. Vodou is not a static religion. In the diaspora, communities have adapted their rituals. For example, some ceremonies may be conducted in English, and new elements may be incorporated from local cultures. In places like New Orleans, Vodou has influenced local traditions, such as the Mardi Gras, skull and bone gangs who incorporate Vodou spiritual guardians into their festivities. Practitioners also use modern tools like the internet to share information and connect with other communities. The rich symbolism of Vodou continues to be a major influence on Haitian art. Drapeau Vodou or sequin flags remain a popular art form, with practitioners creating elaborate embroidered banners that serve as sacred objects during ceremonies. Artists often incorporate the veve symbols and depictions of the LWA into their work. The syncretic and communal nature of Vodou is best illustrated through real-world examples. The St. James Parish, a thriving Vodou community in New Orleans, provides a powerful case study of the religion's resilience. Here, rituals blend African spiritual traditions with Catholic prayers and imagery, demonstrating syncretism in action. The parish's ceremonies often include both Catholic hymns and Vodou drumming, all within the same service, with practitioners seamlessly moving between a reverence for the saints and the LWA. In Haiti, during times of crisis like the devastating 2010 earthquake, Vodou served as a critical source of spiritual and communal support. As a case study, many Houngans and Mambos set up makeshift temples in the rubble, providing not just spiritual solace, but also organizing food distribution, first aid, and emotional support. This demonstrates Vodou's role not just as a religious practice, but as a vital social and community organizing force actively engaged in a people's survival and recovery. Scholarly and practitioner insights further dismantle common myths and highlight the religion's true nature. Dr. Elizabeth M. Allister, a professor of religion at Wesleyan University, points out that the sensationalism surrounding Vodou is largely a product of a racialized fantasy in Western media. Her work emphasizes that the perception of Vodou as inherently evil is a colonial construct, intended to demonize African religious practices and justify enslavement. Renowned Houngan and author Sally Ann Glassman stresses the benevolent aspects of the religion. She describes Vodou as a healing tradition and a way of life that prioritizes community, family, and a strong connection to the earth. Her perspective reinforces the idea that at its core, Vodou is about maintaining a healthy and balanced life, not about causing harm. To better understand Vodou, it is helpful to be familiar with some key terms. Vodou is the correct and respectful name for the religion, distinguishing it from the sensationalized voodoo. Syncretism is the blending of different religious beliefs, in this case, West African spiritual traditions and Catholicism. Bondi is the supreme, distant creator god. LWA are the spirits or deities who act as intermediaries between humans and Bondi. Houngan and Mambo are the titles for Vodou priests and priestesses, respectively. Hounfor is the Vodou temple or sanctuary. Veve is a symbolic ritual drawing made to invite a specific LWA. Rada and PE2 are the two main families of LWA, representing different spiritual energies. Gede is the family of Lubua, who are the spirits of the dead. Bokor is a sorcerer who practices dark magic in Vodou, a role distinct from that of a mainstream Houngan or Mambo. The story of Vodou is inseparable from major historical trends. The transatlantic slave trade is the foundational event for Vodou. It was a period of forced migration that brought enslaved African people to the Americas. In Haiti, they maintained their cultural and spiritual identity through syncretism, a direct response to the oppression of European colonists who sought to eradicate African religions. Vodou played a critical role in the Haitian Revolution, serving as a unifying force and a source of strength for the enslaved population. The Bois Cayman ceremony is an iconic example of how the religion became a tool for liberation and is now a symbol of national pride and resistance to colonialism. The widespread misrepresentation of Vodou as black magic or satanic is a direct legacy of colonialism and racism. This was a deliberate strategy by colonial powers to justify the subjugation of people of African descent by dehumanizing their religious and cultural practices. This trend of distortion continues in Western media, which perpetuates false stereotypes that are far removed from the religion's true focus on healing, community, and respect for nature. The leadership structure in Vodou is not hierarchical like in many other religions. Instead, it's based on service and personal spiritual relationships. A Houngan or Mambo's role is not to preach a dogma, but to act as a spiritual conduit for the community. They are responsible for leading rituals, providing counsel, and performing healing ceremonies. The journey to becoming a priest or priestess is a long and arduous one, involving years of training and initiation. It is a path of service and a deep commitment to the community. The relationship between the priest and their followers is highly personal, as they act as a link between the people and their spiritual family of LWA. Music and art are not just decorative elements in Vodou, they are essential parts of the practice. The ceremonial drums tambour are considered sacred instruments. They are believed to speak to the spirits, and each Lubua has its own specific rhythm. The drumming and chanting are used to create the spiritual energy. Creole needed to call the spirits to mount or possess a practitioner. Vodou art is highly symbolic. The veve is a prime example of this, as it is a complex drawing that acts as a spiritual key. Additionally, practitioners create sequin flags, drapeau Vodou, elaborate embroidered flags depicting the LWA. These flags are not just beautiful, they are sacred objects that are brought out during ceremonies to honor the spirits and are often considered works of spiritual art. Vodou's ethical and moral code is based on maintaining a balanced life by respecting Bondi, the LWA, one's ancestors, and other human beings. A key concept is connaissance, or spiritual knowledge, which helps practitioners understand their place in the world and live in harmony with both the seen and unseen realms. This emphasis on balance, responsibility, and community well-being often gets lost in the sensationalized black magic narrative. The Vodou diaspora is a result of political and economic instability in Haiti, leading to the establishment of communities in places like the United States, Canada, and Latin America. These communities often adapt their rituals, with ceremonies sometimes held in English and incorporating elements from other local spiritual traditions. This adaptability demonstrates Vodou's living and evolving nature, proving it is not a static, ancient belief system but a vibrant global religion that continues to grow and change with its people. Vodou has a profound and often misunderstood relationship with the natural world. Unlike Western religions that sometimes emphasize human dominance over nature, Vodou's cosmology is deeply intertwined with the environment. For practitioners, the earth, water, and air are not just resources, but are imbued with a spiritual essence. In Vodou belief, specific natural sites are considered sacred. Trees, in particular, are vital, as they are often seen as dwelling places for the LWA. Cutting down a sacred tree is considered a grave offense that could disturb the spirits. Similarly, bodies of water, such as waterfalls and rivers, are seen as homes for certain LWA, making them important locations for rituals and offerings. This belief system serves as a powerful form of traditional environmentalism, fostering a deep respect for the land and its resources. Vodou ceremonies are often tied to the agricultural cycles of planting and harvesting. The Lwa Zaka is the spirit of agriculture and the peasantry, honored to ensure a good harvest. The annual Manje Yam, Feast of the Yam ceremony, is an example of this, where a portion of the yam harvest is offered to the spirits before the community can consume it. This practice reinforces the spiritual interconnectedness of human life, agriculture, and the divine. Haiti has faced severe deforestation, a problem that poses a direct challenge to Vodou traditions. The loss of sacred trees has led to a spiritual crisis, prompting practitioners to develop new rituals to move a spirit from a tree to a new location. This adaptability demonstrates the religion's resilience in the face of environmental threats and highlights the genuine concern for the natural world that is central to the faith. People from different cultures and backgrounds often hold a variety of views on Vodou, largely shaped by a mix of media portrayals, personal religious beliefs, and historical context. For many in the West, the perception of Vodou is dominated by negative, sensationalized stereotypes. This view is a direct legacy of colonialism, which deliberately demonized African religious practices to justify exploitation. The historical context of the Haitian Revolution, where Vodou was a powerful tool of liberation against French colonial rule, led to a deliberate campaign to portray the religion as evil and barbaric. This campaign, perpetuated through sensationalized travelogues and later Hollywood films, created a narrative of Vodou as a primitive, dark, and violent form of magic, a stark contrast to its actual focus on healing and community. In contrast, for Haitians and the diaspora, Vodou is a source of pride and resilience. It is seen as a key part of their cultural identity and a vital link to the country's history of independence. Many Haitians see no conflict between practicing Vodou and Catholicism, a phenomenon known as religious syncretism, with many attending Catholic Mass on Sunday and a Vodou ceremony on another day of the week. This dual practice highlights how deeply integrated Vodou is into the fabric of daily life and identity, a spiritual system that provides a direct personal connection to the divine. Practitioners of related faiths like Santeria and Candomblé often view Vodou with a sense of kinship. They recognize the shared history of syncretism and the common West African roots, seeing Vodou as a sister religion that honors similar spiritual principles. The shared pantheons of spirits and similar ritual practices, such as drumming, spirit possession, and offerings, create a sense of mutual respect and understanding across these traditions. This kinship demonstrates how the core beliefs of these religions survive the brutality of slavery by adapting to new environments while retaining their fundamental African essence. The veil of mystery around Vodou is largely a manufactured one, created by a mix of historical misrepresentation and a lack of understanding. The most enduring myths are the voodoo doll and the zombie. The popular image of the voodoo doll used for curses is a fabrication. This practice is more closely associated with folk magic in New Orleans and is not part of authentic Haitian Vodou. In Haiti, dolls are occasionally used as effigies to honor the LWA, similar to how Catholics use statues of saints. The pins are not for inflicting pain, but for focusing spiritual energy for positive purposes like healing or good fortune. The myth of the flesh-eating zombie is another profound misrepresentation. In genuine Vodou, a zombie is not a monster, but a person whose soul has been trapped or controlled by a sorcerer bokor. This concept reflects the profound fear of spiritual enslavement, a horror directly tied to the historical trauma of slavery in Haiti. The sensationalized Hollywood version completely misses this spiritual and cultural context. These myths have been perpetuated for decades, creating a barrier to understanding a religion that is, at its core, a system of spiritual and communal support, not a source of malevolent power. Vodou is not a religion of evil or superstition. It is a profound spiritual tradition that has provided comfort, strength, and a sense of community to millions of people, not just in Haiti, but also in diaspora communities across the United States and the Caribbean. It is a religion of resilience, born out of oppression and resistance, that honors nature, ancestors, and the interconnectedness of the spiritual and physical worlds. By moving beyond the sensationalized stereotypes and embracing a holistic understanding, we can appreciate Vodou for what it truly is, a rich tapestry of faith, culture, and survival.